Okay. Okay. How's everyone doing?
Okay, y'all just move along now. Got some law work to do here. Just amble on your way, folks. The law can take it from
Okay, here we go.
Oh,
Okay, hi, how's everyone doing today? Okay, hi Cypher. Cypher, did you get a notification from my stream? I think it might be because I put out 3 videos in like 24 hours. I think that might be the thing there, but... Oh, hey Jorge, what's up, man, too?
Good work out there. I guess you ain't completely stupid. Of course you do. I mean, you'd spit shine my boots if I asked you to. Do anything I say, right, Lackey? This is a jailbreak. Out the lockup in Valentine. Old Roy got caught, so old Roy
Hey, what's
had
up,
to
man?
save him. You can do that, can't you? The moral of the story is don't
Can you
get
guys hear
caught,
me?
ain't it? And hope you got a friend like the boy here. Go and get him.
They should allow firing gun while swimming in water on top of water because I could see myself dying in the water in a lot in GTA 6 because snipers, I want to defend myself. Well, certain firearms can't function on the water, underwater. It really depends on. But even if they can, it's going to be very ineffective. Any tips on working in a store, pro? Yes, I'm going to probably do a video on that in January. Just a video on just my experience in retail, ultimately, and just how much it sucked so much. Um, but it's yeah. But what I will say is that when you work in retail, if you work in any store where you have to deal with customers, I'm gonna say that that is going to take a toll on your personality in a way, because you're either damn, and I think I might have to restart here. I think my game might have crashed here. Um, Hey, can you guys send me an invite to the, can you guys send me an invite to the session? Because it glitched out for me. Yeah. Yeah, I'll rejoin you guys. Um, but, what I was gonna say about it is working in retail, just dealing with customers, is going to take a toll on you, on your personality, too. And what I mean is that, I'll give you an example. Uh, when I started, The Last of Us multiplayer got canceled? Really? Oh, but they were hyping that up for some time and it got canceled? Wow. Well, that's gonna piss people off. But anyways, what I was saying about working in a store. When I started working in a store the first time, I was, 19-year-old, naive kid. And, before I started working in a store, I never in my life ever imagined that somebody could make such a big deal out of something so stupid. Um, uh, it was something so stupid like a few dollar coupon. Like I never thought that somebody would be screaming and yelling in a store over like a few dollar coupon not working. Like I never imagined in my life that somebody would be that stupid to like get pissed off over something that pointless. But that changed my entire perspective on things. They shut down the multiplayer service for the Bad Company games. Oh no, no. I wanted to make a video revisiting the Bad Company games one day. Oh man. Well now I'll never be able to make that video. Oh no. If you finish the go-kart missions, you can drive it around town. Oh okay. Well, thank you for telling me. Bad Company, those are Battlefield games. The Bad Company, anybody that has played the old Battlefield games will tell you the Bad Company games were the best Battlefield games they've ever made. They were the best Battlefield games of all time, were the Bad Company games. And the thing about this is, I'll tell you this, is this next year, we're supposed to get a new Battlefield game, right? Next year? And, if the new Battlefield game, it should be Bad Company 3. That's what it should be. You know, go back to Bad Company, make a Bad Company 3. I want to see them finish the story, because they never finished the story in Bad Company 2.
Ain't no one gonna save you.
Battlefield no campaign again. Yeah, and I agree with you, it's stupid. Damn, okay. Oh, crap.
We on all sides.
Oh, I'm gonna have fun watching you die.
Aw, damn. Thank you, Mario. Did you know about the Arlington Reconciliation Monument Pro? They're gonna be removing it in a few days' time. I'm not sure what that is. What's the story about that, Mario? And thank you, Mr. Waifu. I'm such an idiot for missing out on the Bad Company, especially since people tell me you missed out on this every time I get... Well, the thing about that is the best experience that you can have, though, is with the campaign. The campaign, you can still play it, and if you don't want to play it, though, Mr. Waifu, you can watch it on my channel, because I'll do a playthrough of that. And the thing about this is, a Battlefield Bad Company would be a perfect game to do a playthrough of on my channel. Perfect. The reason that it would be perfect to do a playthrough of it on my channel is because my channel specializes mostly in crime games. I mostly play games where you play as a criminal. Those are the games I typically specialize in. And Bad Company would be perfect in that regard, because in Bad Company you play as a bunch of convicts. That's what you are, in that it's World War III versus Russia, but you're playing as like a bunch of former prisoners that were like drafted. And in the very first game, the main characters don't even care about the war. They don't care about the fact that there's like a world war going on. The only thing they care about is stealing the mercenaries' gold in the first game. Even the sergeant who's supposed to be in charge of the convicts, he doesn't even care about the mission too. He just wants to get the gold. So that's what was good about the Bad Company games. Did I play Battlefield Vietnam? I played Bad Company Vietnam. I played that one. I didn't play the standalone game, no. Damn, this glitch with the mask is getting really annoying. Oh my god. Did I get him? Okay, I did. Ooh. Okay. What do you think GTA 6 wanted system to be like? I like to see one similar to Red Dead 2, the cops remember your crimes. In a way, but I'm hoping that we get some more tactical police coming into GTA 6, like, you know, cops with riot shields, tear gas, dogs, you know, things like that. Thank you, Bunny, for the super chat. I'm liking Bully a lot, it's a lot of fun. Can you explain the ending of the Sopranos TV show? Well, it's theorized that Tony most likely died in that, because they said earlier in the show that when you die, you just see black. And so that's what happened. The screen just went to black, right when, like, Tony looked up. Also, Pro, hopefully, good news. My cousin is really well after his sprain, so there is some promise that we could play Uno on stream after Reddit Online next week. It'd be me, you, Fernando, and Regulator if we go through. Oh, yeah, I would definitely be open to that, but I never played Uno before, so I probably would suck. But, thank you, Blinded Eagle, for the super chat. When are they adding snow into GT Online? 1 week before, Christmas, the Christmas week. Sorry about the ringing over closed multiplayer stores, getting into Battlefield anyway. Also, please play Army of Two the 40th Day and Devil's Cartel. Yeah, I will, I'll play those games definitely one day. It's a shame that Army of Two games never got another game. You know, they should get a reboot. The Army of Two should be rebooted. I do think it should. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. Do I think Yusuf had a good amount of screen time in the new update? Well, he doesn't have a good amount of screen time, but it's more than I was expecting. Mobile definitive edition looks so much better. Yes, it does. That's what I heard. Maybe I'll do a video on that. Careful, Salem could die in a stupid way like Soap. Yeah, that's a possibility too. What do you think of porch pirates? Good question. A porch pirate, you're talking about people that would steal your package, like, you know, from your door, like when it's being delivered and they run off. What I would say is that, it depends on the state that you're in. In some places, you technically are allowed to chase them and get your package back, but it really depends on the situation. However, though, if they haven't left your property, if they're trying to take your package, in most situations, you have the right to stop them from taking your package because it's your property. My video never got copyright struck, but I did get a copyright claim on it. This is the Black Arabian horse I'm using. Oh, I see, Mario. I'm just personally not gonna get into that. I wish 2023 can already be over, so GTA 6 can feel closer. Well, yeah, I mean, just look at it this way, though. That GTA 6 is going to be, you know, Rockstar's biggest game ever, and the longer we wait, the better the game will be. Feed my horse, right, you're right on that. Yeah, I should feed the horse. I'll play Bad Company games one day. Do I think Elder Scrolls 6 will be a float? What's a float? What does that mean? Does that mean, like, a failure? What does that mean? Can you explain what that means? Oh, flop. Not as good as expected. I think that Elder Scrolls 6 will be a success. I think it will do good. And the thing about this, Elder Scrolls 6 is, you know, probably my most anticipated game besides GTA 6. So Elder Scrolls 6, I think, will do really good. What BIOS do you use for PS2 emulator? I can't answer that question, Steve, because I don't know. I haven't really checked it. My friend helped me set up the PS2 emulator like some time ago, so I don't remember all the settings on it. But I wouldn't be able to answer the question for you. And I don't have the emulator here on this PC because this is my laptop. But when I'm back home in, like, 3 weeks from now, I could probably tell you if you ask me again on the stream then. Most companies aren't going to do free DLCs anymore, so that's definitely, going to attract popularity for them too. What's your opinion about Vladimir Lenin? Was he less bad than Stalin, or was he the same bad level as Stalin? Lenin was not as that evil as Stalin. Stalin was much worse than Lenin. But what I will say about Lenin is the best thing that Lenin did do, and I'm not defending Lenin, is Lenin did give peasants some land. That actually is true. So he did promise peasants land, and he did give peasants land when he took power. But what happened was, when Stalin came to power, he took that away. So he took away the land that the peasants had been given, and what he did was he collectivized everything. Basically, just the government just controls everything, all the farms. There's no small farms allowed. Lenin allowed at least some small private farms. Stalin did not allow any. And he collectivized everything. The government, he took over all the farms by force, and what ended up happening was the Soviet Union, was mass starvation, especially in the in the western part of the Soviet Union. There was massive starvation. But the worst thing that Lenin did was when Lenin established the Cheka, which was the predecessor to the NKVD, the Soviet secret police. Lenin did establish a secret police, so that was the worst thing that Lenin had done. But Lenin was not a good man. He invaded, Poland. Also, he tried to spread communism by force to Eastern and Central Europe. But he was not as bad as Stalin. Stalin had killed way more people. Hope that answered your question. Thank you, Jesus, or Jesus Flores, for the super chat. How many times did you get a Carl Gustav to the face in Bad Company 2 multiplayer? Let me Google what the Carl Gustav was again. It sounds familiar. Let's see. Oh, this thing. Yes, I remember this thing. The Carl Gustav, the rocket launcher. Okay. Yeah, I remember this thing. Yeah, I mostly use this to blow up tanks. I never really used it against infantry much. Poland, what I will tell you about Poland is Poland has, in Poland there are 3 flags. There's 3, bad flags that are banned in Poland. There is the Soviet flag, there is the Bandera flag, which was, they were Ukrainian ultra-nationalists during World War II that had killed a lot of Polish people. Their flag is banned in Poland, so the Bandera flag, the Soviet flag, and the Nazi flag, those 3 flags are banned in Poland. And it's because Poles had just suffered extremely under all 3 of those flags. See here. Do this one. I missed a few comments here. Will Red Dead Redemption 2 Online bring back the Outlaw Passes? Probably not, Dakota Jennings. Thank you for the super chat. Probably not. You get unexpelled at the end of the Bully storyline, Pro. Also, the Bulwer principal, Dr. Crabblesnitch, is going to have a wild time now that Gary is king. Well, he's a terrible... he's a terrible principal, I could already tell. He doesn't actually make that big of an appearance. Wait, what's wrong? Melissa? And Don't worry about it. I'm not too concerned with potential spoilers because I'm just right at the end of the game. I figure that you're gonna get unexpelled anyways, because of the fact that you have to complete the classes to get 100%, and I don't see how else you could do that unless you get, unexpelled. Oh, it's not snowing all week. It's snowing all month in this game. No, no, you don't, Mr. Waifu. It's fine. Don't worry about it, man. Jake Paul just knocked out my local delivery driver. Wait, what? Wait, can you explain? What? You know, the thing is, though, is that, when Mr. Burton accused Jimmy of burning down the gym, I'm surprised that Jimmy didn't try to blackmail him with those pictures that he had him take. Are you getting a gaming monitor? They're on sale? I don't think I really need one. I mean, I like it on my gaming laptop. I like everything here. So I'm just perfectly fine with this. He's joking on how Jake won his boxing match via knockout. Oh. No, it's fine, Lyndon. I'm not pissed at you. Don't worry about it, because it's like I figured that was gonna happen anyways. Jake Paul is knocked out on nobody in a boxing match and just making a joke that guy's my delivery driver because he clearly wasn't a boxer. Oh, okay. Jake Paul was it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? I remember I did a YouTube video about Jake or Logan Paul. I did it like a couple of years ago, but it was like Jake Paul or Logan Paul. It was like one of the stupid Paul brothers was arrested for looting. That's what it was. I remember that. Like there was riots going on and he was like involved in like looting stores. Like the guy's an idiot. Oh, crap. Yes, I know about that, Maverick. I know what you're talking about, man. Yeah, I might give Generation... Are they still updating Generation Zero, Brandon? Are they still doing that? Have I ever played Mafia 3? No, I haven't. Well, I mean, I have, but barely. I didn't get much into it. What do I think of Elon Musk? Honestly, I don't really care much for, I don't really care much for him. Honestly, I don't have, like, necessarily a negative or a positive view. I just really don't care, honestly.
Oh my God! Oh, you've made a big mistake.
Hey!
Holy hell!
Hi, Professional. Hope everything is well. What if Winston was with Wei and Jackie when the chef insulted him about the bok choy? What would he do? The bok choy? I'm trying to remember what part are you talking about of the game are you talking about? Buddy, can you explain what part of the game are you talking about? I'm sorry. The beta version of Bully had you drown in acid dying if you lost to Edgar, and it was Jake Paul. Also, Pro, do you see a Bully lore video in 2024? I could possibly do one maybe on Gary. Maybe I could do one on I could do one on just like what I could do is I could do like top 5 school stories that remind me of Bully. Like I could talk about like things that happened in my school that reminded me personally of Bully. But when I was doing the photography class, one thing that I remembered recently on my part was with the photography class, we had an assignment where we had to take pictures of like a few homes, and we had to find like one house was like a red house to take a picture of. And I remember I took a picture of a house from in my neighborhood that was like a red painted house. And what happened was the guy comes out of the house and he gets all pissed. He's like, why the F are you taking pictures of my house? What are you doing, kid? Like, stuff like that. And I wasn't even on his property. I was just from the street, took a picture of the house. But the guy got all pissed and I told him, like, listen, it's just for a school assignment. That's it. I can delete the picture if you want. And then he said, oh, okay. It's okay. You can keep the picture. And just walked back in the house. But that was an incident that I remember I had with photography. When Wei and Jackie were collecting money in the market, I don't remember the specific NPC you're talking about, buddy. I'm sorry. But yeah, so you died in, so you died in Bully if you lost to Edgar. That was like a, wow. That was in the original. But thank you, Greatest Within. And thank you, Reyna. Good day, Pro. Do you think we'll get the Red Dead Redemption 2 PS5 port? No. Probably not. We would have had some talk about it at this point if we would have. I think that Rockstar will probably give us something in 2024, maybe remastered GTA 4. I don't know, we'll see. But I don't know if it's, PS5, Red Dead Redemption port. And thank you, Happy Solid Snake. Sorry to confuse with the joke. Anyway, you should definitely watch The Warriors and play the game. Both are absolutely amazing. And I can see you loving them. The game is a Rockstar masterpiece. I'll look into that. I definitely will. Thank you, Happy Solid Snake. I'll definitely watch the movie, but I gotta watch the movie before I play the game first.
What the hell again?
Who would have been the next Tsar of Russia after Nicholas if it stayed an empire? I'm not sure. Maybe Anastasia would have taken over, but because Nicholas's son probably was not going to live for a few more years because he was sick. Thank you, U20, for the super chat. And thank you, Mr. Waifu. Gary Smith is a white supremacist, yes or no? The costume, yeah, probably. He's Gary Smith is just a psychopath in general. He's just a horrible person. He dressed up as a that's why I didn't understand. The principal is such an idiot. It's like, how do you not notice that? Like, this kid dressed up as a Nazi officer on Halloween, and there's like hundreds of witnesses that saw that, and like the principal doesn't even know about that. Like, what kind of an idiot is that principal? Thank you, Mr. Waifu. Also, Pro, the video is done. He sent you a message. Cringe roll, of course, is under the worst category, but I'm not spoiling the rest. Total of 35 games I got. Oh, thank you, Blinded Eagle. I still have to do the final DLC of Cringe Row. I still have to do that. But I guess we'll see then. I still gotta do the final DLC. We'll see what that's like. The closest we got to Beta Bully now is the comics. There's comics for Bully? I didn't even know that, Greatest Within. Generation Zero is still getting up. The USSR mechs are in the game now. 3 to 4 new Soviet mechs in the game. They're actually hostile to the FNIX mechs now, Patrick. Okay, I'll revisit Generation Zero. But I actually did play Generation Zero back in the day. I did play it, and I actually beat the game. I remember it. And like the final part of the game, I remember you talk to like that old man. That's like he's like supposedly like in control of the mechs. And then the Soviets give you like a code to shut down the mechs, but the Soviets actually betrayed you and tried to have you killed. So I don't know if that's continuing the story, but
You better untie me now.
oh, get on the other horse here. Will I ever run for president? No. No. Honestly, if I ran for president, there would be so many things that I would do that there would be so much money against me. Like, there would be so many corporations that would, like, try to stop me, and there would be just so many, like, the military-industrial complex definitely wouldn't want me to win, and there would just, the entire mainstream media would probably be against me if I ran for president, so I'd have no chance. Yeah. I mean, like, you know, I would, for example, like, I would, if I was president, I would shut down the CIA and the ATF, because personally, I think that both of those agencies have, caused way more problems than they've solved. I think they've done way too many bad things, and I think both of those agencies need to go. But it would be way too difficult to do something like that. Here, let's wait until we got, like, 4 minutes left and we'll deliver. The target.
Oh, you've made a big mistake.
Oh, they're adding 60 FPS to Generation 0. Okay, nice. Professional's first order as president is to make Rockstar update Red Dead Online. Yep. But yeah, my the reason that I would shut down the CIA if I was like an American president is because the CIA is the most hated American agency outside of the U.S. I think inside the U.S. the most hated agency is probably the IRS. But the most hated, agency outside of the U.S. is the CIA, definitely, because the CIA has just done so many, horrible things. They supported so many coups. They've supported, they've dealt with drug cartels before. They have done, messed up experiments. They interfere in other countries' affairs all the time. And so whenever people think of just CIA, they typically think of just, a bad thing, because the CIA has just done so many bad things. So that's why, if I was president, I would abolish the CIA. I'd shut the CIA down, because it's just a, it's just not necessary organization. I probably would keep the NSA and the Homeland Security, but I'd get rid of the CIA, because the CIA is just not necessary, and the CIA has done so much harm to America. So many people hate America because of the CIA. Like, all over the world, there's so many countries and people that hate America because of the CIA intervening in their country constantly. So that's yeah. Yeah, and I agree with you. I would get rid of the ATF also, because the ATF doesn't even the ATF is the agency that has the least amount of respect from other agencies. Like, when I was when I studied law enforcement in school, like, all of my teachers who were like former all of my teachers who were like former law enforcement officials, they all just had bad things to say about the ATF. Like, nobody had a positive view of them. No, I wouldn't get rid of the FBI, but I would get rid of the ATF and the CIA. Those guys, I'd get rid of them, because they're, ATF, basically, the ATF isn't interested in, busting, like, cartels smuggling guns, or, like, gangs smuggling guns. What the ATF is gonna waste their time on is they're gonna go to, like, somebody's house, waste their time, and harass them. That's why whenever you see those, if you ever watch those, like, YouTube videos online, like, you watch those YouTube videos where, like, you'll see, like, federal agents come to, like, somebody's house and harass them, most of the time it's the ATF who are, like, harassing people at their homes. It's most of the time. It's like ATF's, like, asking people, did you buy 2 pistols in, like, a week? Like, just going up to people's houses and just asking, like, dumb questions, stuff like that. It's like, what are you investigating exactly? The person didn't break any laws. Somebody can buy 2 pistols in a week if they want to. It's not against the law. So it's like, the ATF is just, they waste their time on just a bunch of nonsense and harass people. So they're a very unpopular agency. Let me see here. Please don't, push religion in here, unworthy. Just, I have no problem with anybody's religious views, but just don't push it on people, because people, don't really want to hear that personally. Have you heard the story where a group of former RAF Czechoslovakian pilots orchestrated a mass hijacking to escape communist Czechoslovakia? No, I actually didn't know about that. What's that operation called, or that event called? Thank you, General's Alert, for the super chat. Are the comics in the loading screens? Oh, they are Greatest Within. Okay. Okay, I'll look it up when I have the time. How would you compare revenue men to Pinkertons? Well, what people don't know is that religion seems to be an annoying subject for you. No, it's not. It's not an annoying subject for me. I have no issue with religion. I just don't like it when people, preach personally. Because like I tend to just avoid religion because religion is just a very, divisive subject. Is like everybody has their, views on religion. And so I just tend to stay away from it because, I guarantee you just watching this chat, you probably have like, at least 20 different religions or watching this chat or forms of religion. So there's just, everybody has a different religious view. So that's why I just stay away from it. It's just, very neutral on it. I don't take sides. And because it's the easy, talking religion is probably the easiest way to piss people off. It probably is. So that's why I tend to stay away from it, honestly. See here. Honestly, I think religion can be religion. I agree with both. Religion and politics are both messy, but I think discussing religion will probably be more divisive than even politics. How would you compare revenue men to Pinkertons? What I will say about the Pinkertons and the revenue men is that the Pinkertons and the revenue men, both of them actually exist today still. So the Pinkertons are actually called Securitas AB. They've been purchased by a Swedish security company. They still exist today. They're just a different name. The revenue men, they also exist today. You know what they are? They're the IRS. So people don't know that. The revenue men are actually the IRS. That's what they are. Bureau of Internal Revenue was an actual government agency and later became the IRS. Bro, thoughts on YouTubers who ignore super chats? I think what I will tell you, Juan, is this might be a bit controversial what I say, but I think that YouTubers who ignore super chats are scum. That's what I think. Because it's one thing if you don't if you miss a super chat, because it's happened to me before where like a lot of people will comment and I don't see a super chat up on my screen, but if you see that somebody has super chatted you and you purposely ignore it and you don't even acknowledge it, then that's such a scummy thing to do. That is such a messed up thing to do, because it's the person gave you money. They donated to you. They didn't need to do that. You could at least read their comment and answer their question. You could at least do that. But if somebody just ignores a super chat, I personally think that that's such a scummy thing to do. So that's my thoughts on that, Juan. But the Pinkertons, to answer your question, also, the U20, the Pinkertons are, they were a private agency, where the Bureau of Internal Revenue were a government agency. Waco should have been the catalyst of abolishing the ATF, not defending the branch Davidians, but the fact that the ATF killed innocent children is sickening. Thank you for the super chat, Mario. The ATF has been involved in a lot of scandals. They've been involved in a lot of bad things. What I will tell you about the ATF is the worst thing that the ATF has ever done is Operation Fast and Furious. For people that don't know what Operation Fast and Furious was, the ATF, what they did was they sold thousands of guns to the cartels. And this is not a conspiracy theory, this actually happened. It was like a federal American agency that sold thousands of guns to the cartels. This is proven, this actually happened. Like I said, it's not a conspiracy, it was real. And you can look it up, Operation Fast and Furious. Now, you're probably wondering, why the hell would a U.S. government agency sell thousands of guns to the cartel? Well, according to the ATF, they wanted to track the guns. They were going to track the guns when they sold them to the cartel, and they were going to track them to the cartels in Mexico, and then they were going to work with the Mexican government and arrest those people. The problem is that they lost track of all the guns. So they lost track of the guns, and those guns have been involved in hundreds of deaths in Mexico, and eventually a U.S. border guard also got killed by that. So that is probably the stupidest operation that I could possibly think of. That you are selling thousands of guns to the cartel to try to track them. That is one of the stupidest things I've ever heard the U.S. government ever do. That's such a dumb thing to do. And what guns are still being used by the cartel to this day? That's such a stupid thing. That's the worst thing the ATF has done. Is that it was hundreds of people died from those guns. Such a stupid thing that they did. Let me see. Your thoughts on Jehovah's Witness? Like I said, I'm not really going to comment on religion, Krillin, so I'm just going to stay away from it. Please play Silent Hill 2 Remake, but I do appreciate the super chat. Please play Silent Hill 2 Remake when it's out. I might give it a chance. I never actually played Silent Hill 2, so I don't know what's going to happen, so I might give it a chance. Thank you, Happy Solid Snake. Military-grade weaponry. Yep, it is. The only religion we talk about here is Epsilonism. Yeah, GTA. Can you explain what is Leninism? Leninism is basically Vladimir Lenin's version of communism. That's what it is. It allows some private enterprise, but mostly government control of the economy. Do I play any musical instruments? No. What is your theory on who killed JFK? I don't know, really. What I will say to you is that I think my character is cold. I think that's what this is about, because my character's health keeps going down. So I gotta get to a camp and change my clothes. But about who killed JFK, I don't know. But what I will say is that JFK's death is extremely suspicious, and there are, multiple people that could have been involved in that situation. You basically have three suspects in that. You have the Soviet government, you have the mafia, the Chicago outfit, and then you have the CIA. So it could have been the CIA, it could have been the Chicago outfit, it could have been the KGB, it could have been a lot of different people that did that. What I will say is the reason that people believe that JFK's death was a cover-up is because his death is just so suspicious, because when Lee Harvey Oswald shot JFK, he didn't shoot the JFK's convoy was coming straight towards his building, so he had a clear front sight on him that he could have shot him from. But he didn't shoot him during that. He waited till the car turned to its side, which would be a much more difficult shot to make. So it's why he chose it at that angle is unknown. That's where most of the conspiracies come from. But about the suspects is the Soviet government, for obvious reasons. He was the American president. That's why they were suspect in that. However, though, I don't think the Soviets had anything to do with it, because I don't think even the Soviets weren't that stupid to risk World War III. So I don't think the Soviets had anything to do with that. And if the Soviets did do that, that would have given the U.S. grounds to assassinate Khrushchev, who was the leader of the Soviet Union. So it wasn't the, I don't think it was the Soviets. Now, the other two suspects you have, besides Lee Harvey Oswald, you have the CIA and the Italian Mafia, the Chicago outfit. Now, let's start with the Mafia. Why would the Mafia want JFK dead? The reason the Chicago outfit would want JFK dead, this is Al Capone's Mafia, so even though Al Capone was long dead, his Mafia still operated. They actually made a deal with JFK's father. And JFK's father actually came to the Chicago outfit, the Mafia, and because the Mafia's had a lot of influence with the unions. The Mafias ran a lot of the labor unions, and JFK's father basically told the labor unions, help my son, win this election, get the unions on his side, get the union workers out there voting for him. And he said, if my son wins this election, he will cool off from investigating the Mafia. Like, the Mafia will have more breathing room to be able to do business. And the Mafia went out, they got their unions together, and they had got help to get JFK elected. Now, whether the Mafias had got him elected or not, I don't know. But they did help, with the votes, definitely. They did get their unions out. They told their unions, their union workers, go and vote for JFK. And what ended up happening is when JFK became president, Robert Kennedy, his brother, started investigating the Mafia. So he started investigating the Mafia, started going after the Mafia, started doing trials with the Mafia, and that pissed the Chicago outfit off that JFK's dad did not keep that promise. And so that's probably one of the reasons the Mafia would have wanted him dead. The third suspect that we have is the CIA. Why would the CIA want JFK dead? The reason the CIA would want JFK dead was because JFK canceled Operation Northwoods. Operation Northwoods was a planned CIA operation where they were basically going to do a false flag attack. And in this operation, the U.S. government planned to make it look like Cuba committed some kind of false flag attack on the U.S., like some kind of, hijacking, terrorist attack, whatever, some kind of attack. And they were going to blame it on Cuba, and they were going to use that as an excuse to invade Cuba. That's pretty much what it was. And JFK, when he saw that operation come across his desk, he basically said, no, we're not doing this, and he canceled the entire operation, which pissed off the CIA. So the CIA are a suspect in that too. So there's just so many people that have wanted him dead that it's just really unknown who did it. Maybe it actually was Harvey Oswald. We don't know. Maybe Lee Harvey Oswald actually did do it. We don't know. It's just such a bizarre, suspicious thing. But I don't think we're ever gonna find out who did it. If Lee Harvey Oswald didn't do it, I don't think we ever will find out who did it. It's just such a messy case. But thank you, Ryan, for the super chat. Isn't the IRS involved in North Korea and China? I'm not sure how they would be involved in North Korea and China. Can you explain it a little bit? Thank you, Bunny. And thank you also, Mr. Weifu, Kiflam. Thanks, man. Yeah, and there's also another conspiracy that the CIA had gotten the Italian Mafia to do it. So there's another conspiracy on that. It was Alex Mason. Oh, man. I mean, yeah, that's, that they actually went with that in the story in Black Ops, where they actually said that it was Mason who did it.
You're gonna sing for me, Jailbird. I'll make sure of it. Enjoy.
Let me get through.
Okay, let me go to my camp here. What Christmas movies do you like? I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen a Christmas movie, but I will tell you one thing. There is a Christmas movie that I actually do want to really see. And the Christmas movie that I want to see, I'll tell you what it's called. I just forget the name of it. Let me look it up here. The movie is called Silent Night. It's an action movie. That movie I wanted to go see. It's a I love when you talk about history. Thank you, man. Can you help me sell my stuff on Red Dead Redemption 2? Do I have you added, Choppa? Let's get over to the camp here. You watch John Wick? I saw the first movie a long time ago, but I didn't see the movies after that. How is JFK as a leader? Well, I mean, to tell you the truth, I really don't know that much about his policies. I know that JFK sent some early advisors to Vietnam, but JFK did do the good thing by canceling Operation Northwoods, because that was a really that would have been a disaster. Do I know about the World War I Christmas truce that happened on December 24th, 1914? Yes, I do know about that, and that's probably one of the most wholesome moments in human history, where both sides stopped shooting at each other and actually, you know, sat down with each other, actually ate during Christmas, and exchanged gifts. But do you know the really sad thing about the Christmas truce is most of the soldiers that were involved in the Christmas truce did not survive the war. Most of them didn't. I don't think most of them ended up killing each other. Most of them actually died a few years later after that. They didn't survive the war. So most of the Christmas truce soldiers did not end up surviving the war. This was really sad about it.
Supplies are looking healthy right now. Well, if you
Didn't the officers hate the truce? Some of the officers. Some of the officers actually were involved in the Christmas truce. There was actually a British officer that actually came to one of the German trenches, and he brought, like, you know, 3 bottles of wine. So there is so it really depends. Did the Christmas truce soldiers ever meet after the war? That I do not know. But I do know their descendants met. That I know. Their descendants met. There was a video, that was a documentary once where the descendants of the Christmas truce, they actually met each other. Isn't the Krampus shotgun in Red Dead Online named after a monster that does messed up things on Christmas? Krampus shotgun? What are you talking about, U20? Can you explain? Krampus shotgun? Wait, you don't have to super chat me again. Earlier you said GTA 4 is getting remastered. I said possibly. I don't know. Maybe in 2024. Maybe. We don't know. Is the wall save worth it? Yeah, because you get to fill up your, you know, your business with cash. Well, just don't. I wouldn't just argue with him, Lendon. But uh, yeah. But please don't you know, don't talk religion in chat, guys, because everybody just respect everyone's views and just you know, everyone is gonna, you know, have different views on that. You know, religion is more just a private matter. Just, you know, don't you know, you're not gonna change somebody's mind on that. What's the best Star Wars movie? My favorite Star Wars movie, I would say, is Episode 4. Most people say it's Episode 5, but I like Episode 4, because of, I like Episode 4, because Episode 4 has the best amount of stuff in this one single movie. Like, the movie starts, you know, with a crazy action scene where you see the Rebel Alliance and the Empire, and it goes down to Tatooine. You see, like, a poor farmer boy on there. You know, he meets up with, like, an old man that was, like, a hero back in the day. You know, he finds the droids that carry the plans. They try to get to the Rebel Alliance. They get stuck on, like, a big, you know, battle station. They fight off to it. The poor farmer boy ends up joining the rebellion and destroys the super weapon at the end of the movie. So, like, that's what I would say, is that it was a perfect movie, because it had so much stuff. Well, Unworthy, look, I appreciate the super chat. Thank you for the super chat, man. But, first of all, you know, how do you know I'm not a Christian already? I'm an agnostic. But the point is you're not going to change anybody's mind, Unworthy. Just please, just stay away from religion. You know, I'm not saying you personally, but just don't talk it in chat, please, because it's like, you know, everybody has their own views, and you're not going to change anybody's mind. I don't know if you're trolling, if you're being serious, but just please avoid it. Well, no, I allow free speech in my chat. I don't ban people, even for people insulting me. You know, people can insult me in the chat. I'm not gonna ban them. Even if people can come in the chat and they can call me an idiot, I'm not gonna ban them. The only time that I truly ban people from chat is when they when they're spreading a scam, or when they're being racist. That's really the only time I'll ban people from chat. But other than that, people can call me an idiot in chat. But I'm just asking you personally, Unworthy, you know, please, don't, you know, push that on people, because it's gonna piss people off. Okay, let's see here. Collect all of this stuff. Where's my clothes wardrobe? Here. Yeah, I know. I'm gonna change to something, because this is not doing it right now for me. Okay. I need something warm. That's too much fur. I know, and I'm not ashamed of that. I do suck at I do suck at the shop class. I will admit that. I'm terrible at it. Okay, we'll wear this. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. Yeah. Uh, uh, is there any VTubers you like, you watch and like? Some love playing the GTA games, and it boosted the pop. Examples are Miko, Sakura, and Kiara. What's a VTuber? I really don't know. What is a VTuber? Can you explain? You don't have to super chat me. Again, I'll look for your comment, Midnight. Thank you for the super chat. No, I started streaming almost an hour ago. Oh, you guys remember this? Tan-tied pants. Do you guys know what I'm talking about, the tan-tied pants? Does anybody know what I'm talking about with that? People with avatars? VTubers use an avatar instead of a face cam. Oh, I don't really know any YouTuber like that then. No, I don't know then. Is Jafar from Aladdin a psychopath? Let me look up Jafar. I don't remember that character. Thank you, Bunny. Jafar. Oh, this guy. I'm trying to remember what he did exactly that was so bad. He tried to take over Aladdin's kingdom, it says. He tried to betray the Sultan. Uh, how do you feel you're gonna be, that you're gonna be Bully? Also, in your opinion, do you think Gary is a good or bad villain? Am I at the end of Bully? Uh, thank you, York. Well, I'm assuming I am because it's the last part of the map that I unlocked. Uh, I think Gary is a good villain. Yep, I think he is. The hacker can go and release the footage of Wolverine. I would not give in to him if I was developer. I think that the pistol brace, like, the pistol brace rule was a perfect example, Zach, of why you can't have a federal government agency making laws. That's up to Congress. Okay, Ricky.
Hey, I seen you since you did that thing. I owe you, you know?
Oh, theft. Here we go.
Hey. Hey, hey, hey. The frozen in up here. There's ice everywhere. We're trapped. Frozen solid. I'm going crazy. I hate it. Well, as soon as this melts, I ain't sticking around. I get in a boat, ride the spring thaw all the way to Valentine. But I need you to get me that boat. They got some over by Window Rock. Get it, and I put food on your plate. Okay? Good.
Will I do 100% stream of Bully? I'm thinking about it. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do it. You know, my favorite Daedric god in the Elder Scrolls game was probably always Hircine. Because Hircine is one of the few Daedric gods that is not like pure evil. Where if you win like a fight and are honorable, like Hircine actually respects that. Uh, I'll do a bully 100% stream once I beat the game. Yeah, I'll do it. My favorite map in the Hitman trilogy. Favorite map. I got it. Berlin. The Berlin is my favorite map in the new Hitman trilogy. Yep, Berlin. Oh, Mehrunes Dagon is a scumbag in the Elder Scrolls world. He even tortures his most loyal followers. Why do you think Devin Weston is a weak antagonist? How would you rewrite him to make him a better villain? Well, Devin Weston was just not an interesting villain. Like, he was just, like, when you just looked at him, he was just that angry and, like, annoying, you know, billionaire. That's pretty much what he was. Like, that billionaire that just basically talks how rich he is to everyone. And just makes fun of everyone and belittles everyone. That's, you know, what it was. Like, he wasn't, like, a scary, like, threat. Like Tenpenny or Sonny Forelli or Dimitri or Bulgarin. So like it's like all of these villains were always like a scary threat. Devin wasn't like really a scary threat. That's why I say he was like the weakest GTA antagonist. What do you think of the CCP purchasing farmland in the U.S.? You're talking about the Communist Chinese Party. That's what you're talking about, right? What I would say about that I know exactly what you're talking about. That has actually happened in the Midwest, where you actually have had companies that are closely associated with the Communist Party of China that would buy up land, buying up tons of farmland in the U.S., and that farmland is getting really close to military bases too. Now, what I'll say about this is that those Chinese companies should be completely banned from that. They should not be allowed to buy up, you know, land in the U.S. You know, especially, you know, coming from a country that's like a brutal authoritarian regime and is so hostile to the U.S. Why would you allow their government to buy up land in our country? That's just stupid. It makes no sense. It's just idiotic. And here's the thing about this. China controls pretty much most of our production. When it comes to, like, electronics, most of that stuff is produced in China. What China doesn't control is China doesn't control our food supply. So why would you want China to control our food supply? They're gonna run those poor farmers out of business. They can't compete with some giant like the Chinese government. So that's just stupid. And I'll tell you something like this, is both Russia and China would not allow this. Like, if you were like a giant American corporation and like you went to Russia or China and you said, I want to purchase like hundreds of acres of farmland in like Russia and China, both the Russian and the Chinese government would tell you to get the hell out of here. They'd kick you out immediately. But yeah, we allow it in our country, where we allow, like, you know, these companies that are directly associated with the Chinese government to buy up tons of farmland. It's stupid. It makes no sense. Let me see here. They bought farmland to grow crops here and sell them back to us without paying tariffs. Yeah. Yo, Pro, is you gonna do a video on Bully like your thoughts and what you like and dislike about it, like breaking it up into parts? Yeah, I don't think there was really anything I disliked about Bully. I'm really enjoying the game, so thank you, Strong Heart. Thanks for the super chat. Thank you, U20. Jafar was a scumbag, did a lot of messed up things in Aladdin, but I think Frollo from Hunchback and Scar from the Lion King are more evil. Isn't Frollo like that, isn't he like that crazy guy that, like, he falls off of the Notre Dame at the end of the Hunchback, I think, right? I think he falls off. Hey, 1NV, what's up, man? Oh, nice outfit, Pro. Really impressed. Thank you, man. Thank you guys for the super chats. Bro, who is your favorite boxer? A good question. I don't know. I'd say probably Muhammad Ali. Probably, yeah. I do like boxing a lot. I like it way better than UFC, though. UFC I've never really been much of a fan of. Oh, Star Wars Attack of the Clones was a decent movie. And so is Episode 1. Episode 1 and 2 were good movies. I don't know why people hated Episode 1 and 2 so much. They were not bad movies. What I will say is that, honestly, the people that hated the prequels, the people who hated the Star Wars prequels, we can also blame those people for what ended up happening to the new Star Wars movies. Because think about it this way. Think about it this way, that these toxic fans, right? They just kept harassing George Lucas, and they kept annoying him, and they kept saying, oh, the prequels suck, they're garbage, and George Lucas, had enough of it. He had enough of those toxic people. He even said it, that those toxic people convinced him to just get rid of Star Wars, and he just sold it to Disney. He sold it to Disney, and look at what Disney did. Now, you say what you want about the prequels. George Lucas has made mistakes, sure. But even though George Lucas has made small mistakes here and there in the Star Wars movies, he still, overall made a good story for these movies. He still did a good job with these movies. Where Disney, just the story that they wrote, was just terrible. Terrible. Like, look, the new movies are terrible. They suck. Like, the prequels are like 10 times better. The new movies are terrible. And I remember when The Force Awakens, when that movie came out and I watched it, I hated The Force Awakens. I did not like that movie at all. I thought the movie was stupid. It was dumb. And what I remember when the movie came out, people were like, "Oh, it's awesome, it's a lot of fun," and I kept saying it's stupid. I didn't like it, and people were like criticizing me. They're like, "No, it was a good movie. It was a good movie." And then 2 years later, we had The Last Jedi come out, which was like, such a terrible Star Wars movie. It was like the worst one. Yeah, they did screw Finn over. And do you know what was the one of the worst do you know what one of the worst scenes was in the one of the worst scenes that was in the Last Jedi was when Finn was gonna sacrifice himself, and he was gonna smash into that giant First Order machine, and then Rose just comes out of nowhere and just hits him. That what was the point of that? That was just stupid. That was dumb. But I will tell you the worst scene, the absolute worst, most terrible scene in the entire new Star Wars movies, the worst scene of all time, and in all three of the new movies, is the part when Luke tried to kill Kylo Ren. That was the worst part, where he was Ben Solo, I would say. That was the worst scene in the entire Star Wars movies. That scene, that was the worst one. The reason I hated that scene so much when Luke tried to kill Kylo Ren is because the original Luke, if you know anything about Luke Skywalker, and you know Luke Skywalker's lore, Luke Skywalker would never do something like that. The original the original George Lucas, Luke Skywalker, he would never do something like that. I'll read your super chat in just one moment, Lendon. Thank you for the super chat. I just wanted to just finish my point on this, but I saw it. It was the reason that I hated that is because Luke. Do you know what the difference between Luke and Yoda was? The main difference between them, because Yoda was in charge of the Jedi, the Jedi Order, pretty much. I mean, he was the highest ranking member of the Jedi Order. He was, Grandmaster, and then Luke, later formed his own Jedi Order. But do you know what the difference was between Luke and Yoda? Is that Yoda, basically how he ran the Jedi Order is the Jedi were not supposed to have any kind of emotions whatsoever. They were basically supposed to be emotionless beings. They were supposed to have no attachments to anybody. And Yoda basically Yoda was convinced that if somebody would fall to the dark side, that they were never, they could never come back. They were, irredeemable. They were gone. They were just completely taken over. Luke, on the other hand, believed in emotions. He believed that you could have attachments. He believed that you could love somebody. Luke also believed that even the people who have fallen the most can still come back. Even the people who have fallen the most to the dark side, Luke still... That was the difference between Luke and Yoda, is Luke still saw good in people, where Yoda didn't see any good in people who had fallen to the dark side. And so, it makes no sense whatsoever how, Luke tried so hard to convince his father to stop in the original trilogy. And yet, he just senses some darkness in, Kylo Ren, and he just decides, he's like, oh, I'm gonna murder this kid in his sleep. I'm just gonna take a lightsaber, I'm just gonna kill this kid in his sleep. That was, the worst scene ever in the entire Star Wars movies. That was when Luke tried to kill, Kylo Ren when he was sleeping. That scene was so terrible. I hated that scene so much, I almost walked out of the theater because of that scene. It was so bad. It was such as, oh, I'm gonna murder this kid in his sleep now. It's that was what Luke was like. It's the whole thing was just stupid. It's what kind of an idiot wrote this story? It was dumb. It was idiotic. Apocalypse Tier FNIX mechs are also in Generation 0 now, Patrick. Tier 4 Chemical Warfare. Also, you just said FNIX in one go, not by every word. Well, you're gonna be really happy about this, Lendon, but I might revisit Generation 0. I might do a playthrough of it again, so I will try it again. I will try it, I will give it a try again, though, Lendon. I'll come back to it. Thank you for the super chat. But, I mean, do you guys agree with me that that was just so bad, that scene of, Luke tried to, kill, Kylo Ren in his sleep? I was just it made no sense. He tried everything in his power to save his father. He tried so hard to save his father in the original movies, and he went to all that effort. He basically convinced his father to, abandon the dark side, and then he has, a vision. He's like, oh, there's some darkness in Kylo Ren, let me just murder him in his sleep. The scene made no sense. Oh, how do you say it? Phoenix? Phoenix? Okay, I'm sorry if I'm reading it wrong. And I got a question for you guys. What's his name? The guy who plays as Luke Skywalker. How could I forget the actor's name? Mark Hamill. That was him. Mark Hamill. How could I forget him? Mark Hamill. Doesn't Mark Hamill hate the new Star Wars movies too? Doesn't he hate it too? Correct me if I'm wrong. But doesn't he hate it too? I never actually got around to seeing Rogue One, believe it or not. I never got around to seeing that one. But I did see the new ones. 1010 Disney Star Wars sucks so much. Disney is only a business and cares for money, while George Lucas put a lot into Star Wars. You know what I will say about it? The only form of Disney Star Wars that was not bad was Star Wars Rebels. I actually watched Star Wars Rebels. I watched the entire Star Wars Rebels series. Star Wars Rebels was a little, more childlike, but it was still a decent series. I didn't really have that many problems with Star Wars Rebels. And, they finished the Clone Wars. They finished that. That was a plus, too. But the difference is they got the original directors to finish it. So, the Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels and the Bad Batch, those are okay. Those are fine. But the new, new Star Wars movies, no. They're bad. They suck. What do you think of Grand Admiral Thrawn in Rebels? I would say that Grand Admiral Thrawn is probably my favorite Imperial villain. Like, out of all the Imperial villains, I would say he's probably my favorite one. Because do you know what I think of when I think of Grand Admiral Thrawn? I basically think of Napoleon in Star Wars. It's basically what I think of when I see Thrawn. I basically think Napoleon in Star Wars. That's what I think. He's kind of similar to Napoleon in a lot of the things he does. And the thing about Thrawn is I wouldn't say that Thrawn is evil. Is evil. I would say that Thrawn is probably a bad guy, but I wouldn't say that Thrawn is evil. He's definitely not like Palpatine, where he's gonna, destroy entire planets and kill millions of people. So I wouldn't say that. But the thing about that is, do you know what I'll say about Thrawn? Is about him is, if you watch Star Wars Rebels when Thrawn was in there, Thrawn would have destroyed the rebellion several times in Star Wars Rebels, but why did he keep failing? The reason he kept failing is because his stupid, his stupid coworkers, they did not listen to him. They didn't follow his orders. That's what it was. His colleagues, they never listened to him. They disobey his orders all the time, because they think they know. So, like, if you have somebody like Thrawn as your commander, listen to him. Whatever Thrawn tells you to do, even if you think that it's a stupid idea, whatever Thrawn's telling you to do, you still do it, because it's gonna work. Because Thrawn, I would say, out of all the Imperial characters in the series, I would say that Thrawn is probably the second smartest character in the Empire. He probably had the second highest IQ. I would say that Thrawn probably has an even higher IQ than Anakin does. He probably is even smarter than Anakin and Darth Vader. I would say that too. The only person that I would say is probably smarter than Thrawn is Palpatine. That's probably the only person I would say has a higher IQ than him. But Thrawn is definitely like the second smartest character in the Empire out of all of them. And a lot of the Imperial officers are pretty stupid most of the time, but Thrawn is actually pretty intelligent. Oh, I'm sorry, Gretty. Let me look. Da, 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 da. Let me see here. I'm gonna read if you read up on a lot of the older era of Star Wars, like for say in Knights of the Old Republic, the Jedi say that it's possible to try to bring them back to the light. Well, the thing about that is it changed completely with Yoda. I personally, I get it that Yoda was a good character, but honestly, I blame Yoda for a lot of the Jedi Order falling in the prequels. I blame Yoda for a lot of it. I think that Yoda is to blame. Yoda, Mace Windu are probably Yoda, Mace Windu, and then the other guy, the guy with the tall head. What was his name? The other guy with the tall head, that guy, he was, those three were like the worst of the Jedi Order. Like they had caused so many problems. Thank you, Seth, for the super chat. 10 stars, Disney sucks. Disney is only a business and cares for money, while George Lucas put a lot into Star Wars. Yep. George Lucas tried. He gave his heart. Sometimes George Lucas made mistakes when he was making the Star Wars movies, but he put his heart into it still. Do you think Dutch feels regret for Arthur's death? In a way, yes. That's one of the reasons that he shoots Micah at the end. Salute, brother. Will you say hi to my mom, Lucia? She has the same name as the GTA 6 protagonist. So cool. She is here with me. Well, hello, Jesus. Thank you for the super chat. And, hello to your mom, Lucia, also. Thank you, guys, for supporting my channel. Then even got screwed over on the Chinese poster of Star Wars, The Force Awakens. They shrunk him down in size to make him less significant on the poster. That's racist. That's horrible. Why? That's horrible. The Chinese government does a lot of censorship, and they do a lot of really messed up things. There's a character named Revan in Knights of the Old Republic where it says he fell to the dark side, where he fought the Mandalorians, but he fell to save the galaxy and to the people, save people from being massacred. Knights of the Old Republic is the best Star Wars stories. I've never played those games. I want to play the remake. When the Knights of the Old Republic remake comes out, I'd play that. Did Don Bluth work for Disney once? Who's that? Don Bluth? I don't know. No, it's fine, Mr. Waifu. I don't know what you're saying there. Gretty, you made a super chat, you said? I didn't see it. Let me scroll back and see if I can find your super chat here. Also, to If I've missed anybody's super chat, I apologize. Thank you, Nico, for that super chat. The idea that Jar Jar is a Sith Lord. Thank you, General's Alert. That was a ridiculous, a joke that came up, but then people started believing it. Thank you, York, for that super chat also earlier. I don't see your comment here, Gretty. Just ask me whatever you want to ask me again, Gretty, and I'll read your comment. Just post it again, and I'll read it, man. I think I found it. I'm going to get the Sniper Elite series. Can you give me tips? If you're gonna get the Sniper Elite series, I would start with Sniper Elite 3. Start with Sniper Elite 3. Start with that one as your first one. Because you want to go chronologically. It'll make more sense. Go Sniper Elite 3, then go Sniper Elite 4, 5, and then the last game you want to play is V2. That takes place after 5. Biggest hopes for GTA 6, how can Rockstar improve? Thank you, Vimsky. How can Rockstar improve? I would say listen to the community more, and focus the game more on the crime element. You know, don't do like the crazy action like you had in GTA 6. Like, add more crime elements to the game. I think if you added more crime elements to the game, I think people would be much more happy with it. Like, make it more like GTA 4. Maybe add a better economy than GTA 4, but make, like, the story like GTA 4. Why is Jar Jar, so hated? Thank you, Bunny. Yeah, no futuristic stuff also. I agree with you, Jago, there. Jar Jar, I would say, is, like, a character that kids like, but not necessarily the adults. A lot of people just found him annoying. That's what it was. Let me see here. How many people we got in the posse right now? Oh, okay. I wanted to do a survival right now here, guys. We have, but one person would not be able to join that, unfortunately, if I did that. Does anybody want to leave, or, I don't want to force anybody to leave. But I didn't want to try one of the survivals. Okay. Let's see, what guns am I gonna bring for it? Let's do Lamet's. Yeah. Yeah, this will be good. I think these guns, I think, are fine for it. Yeah. The Knights of the Old Republic remake got cancelled? What? I didn't know about that. Wonder how bad Alderaan's destruction hurt Leia. I think that's mostly in the books. I think that's what's mostly there.
You got a problem?
Thank you, U20, for the super chat. They did also Black Panther Mario. I didn't know that. Okay, let me start up the posse again, and I'll just see who joins. Cannot leave posse while content is active. What content? We're not doing any content right now. Star Wars Episode 1 is okay. Episode 2 had a good beginning and ending with a cringe love story in the middle. The new movies killed the lore for me. They suck. Yeah, the new movies are terrible. I agree with you, Fernando. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, Luke just throwing the lightsaber away. Yeah, that's a terrible scene too. Will I play Ready or Not? I have that game actually on PC, but I barely played it. I know what you're talking about, the SWAT game. What do I think of the Fargo TV show? I actually like it. I watched every season except the last season. That one I didn't watch. Do you think Luis Lopez will return in GTA 6? Possibility. But I hope not, because I don't want to risk Rockstar ruining him. Thank you, Nico, for the super chat. Waiting 2 years for Luke just to throw the lightsaber behind him and call it a laser sword. I might play Ready or Not one day. Free update for Payday 3. I heard about that. I might revisit the game. No, I've actually never played Republic Commando. Do all the voice accents you did while trolling the scammers. Okay, when I did the old person's voice when trolling the scammer. Huh? Hello? What are you saying? That's when I did the old person's voice. And when I did the Dimitri's voice. Hello, this is Dmitry Raskolov. I work for Belarusian State Security Service. Now, you know what I was thinking about doing? If anybody knows what game this is from, the next time I troll a scammer, do you know who I'm thinking about being? What character? Doing the accent for? Just gotta time this right with this accent. Hey, how you doing? Tunnel snakes rule. This is Butch. That's what I was thinking about doing, that one next. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Okay, not a second. Can I leave? I can't leave the posse too. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna have to go to a new session, guys, because the posse is glitched right now. Or Merry Call to Arms. We'll do that here. Can you do a deeper Russian accent? Hello, this is Dmitry Raskolov. That's probably my best accent that I can do. In Survival for Red Dead Online, the hired guns and outlaws are gonna have melee hackers, shotgun knights, cavalry stagecoach, and sharpshooters with helmet hat. Yeah, I know that, but the hardest enemy in the survival, though, Lendon, the hardest one is going to be the wagons. When they bring in the wagons and machine guns, because those will kill you really quickly. I heard about that. He made fun of how short the Modern Warfare 3 campaign is. Yes, I heard about that. Hey, I'm walking here. I know that one too.
I don't know why I didn't start this business years ago. We're going all the way to the top, you and me.
I already said the cavalry stagecoach. Yeah, I know, London. I read your comment and I commented on it. Yeah, the stagecoach with the machine gun. I know. It gets a bit hard. But the enemies come in just so many different waves on that. It gets very very tricky. But let me form my posse again. We'll try the merry call to arms here. Yeah, they probably would copyright me. Yeah, we're gonna do the survival. I want to see just people join my posse here. I think they had Chadwick Boseman's face covered up with Black Panther mask on a Chinese poster. For most Western countries, you could see his face in the poster. Well, the Chinese government censors just so much stuff, and that's messed up that they did something like that too. Thank you, Rashawn. Thank you, man. Merry Christmas to you too as well. What do the purchasable cop cars do? Not really much. This is mostly just for cosmetics.
Excuse me.
Okay, and we'll just wait for General. Just join the posse, and we'll start this up here. Oh, I only have room for just one person, one more person here. Because I did want to start up the merry call to arms here. Because merry call to arms are only, let's see here. Valentine Auction Yard, the Manor, Caligula Hall, Bolter, Rhodes, Hanging Dog Ranch, Adler Ranch. Say Adler Ranch. Probably try that one. And guys, let's try to do free aim. Let's not try to do any auto aim, just to make this as interesting as possible. Do I think Star Wars Battlefront 2 should have behemoths? Well, they originally were kind of going for that in the original Battlefront that they tried to do, but that never worked out. It says that the people that play the new Star Wars Battlefront, the new one, they don't know what the original Star Wars Battlefront was like. The original Star Wars Battlefront was much better than the new ones, even that came out. How would Peter Griffin deal with Micah Bell? Well, he'd probably be too stupid to realize that Micah Bell is screwing them over. Yeah, but we're gonna see. If anything, we'll just take cover inside inside the house or the barn. Can I climb on top of the Adler house? I don't think I can, okay. I'm ready. I'm gonna skip the preparation. I didn't know there's an NPC that plays the guitar here. Okay. We cosplay as Kratos when you play God of War. Thank you, Nico. I've never actually been much into those games, but if I ever do play them, I could probably create some kind of cosplay for that. AI sharpshooters or headshotters and call. Oh, they go for your head? Oh no. Thank you for telling me though, London. How many waves is this? 10? Thank you for the super chat, London. Double-barreled shotgun right there. Did I watch SpongeBob when I was a kid? Of course I did. You missed 3 of my super chats? No, I didn't miss your super chats, Nico. I read them. I said I've never played God of War. I read your comment before. Thank you for the super chat, Nico. I didn't miss your super chat.
Oh, it looks like you grabbed the short straw.
Okay. Richard, are you using auto-aim by any chance? Can't get a shot on them. But Nico, I read your chats. Are you still here, Nico? I can't find a lore video on the corrupt cop in GTA 3. Who are you talking about? I don't think I ever made one on that, but I could do that. Instead of Tommy, the really big guy, Peter Griffin will fight the giant chicken at the Valentine Saloon in Red Dead Redemption 2 when the chicken throws him out the window. Thank you, Own Titan. Have I ever seen Total Drama series with Chris McLean character? Total Drama Island I used to watch back in the day, but I don't remember the characters, though. The host I remember was the guy with the long hair, right? That I do remember about it. And yeah, Nico, I did answer your question also about Dutch killing Micah. I scrolled and looked for your super chats. How old are you? I'm 29. Did I go to college? I did. I got a bachelor's degree in law enforcement. Thank you, TB Bunny, for the super chat. What the? I don't know what just killed me. Yeah, this is the last year of my 20s. I feel like an old man, but yeah. But, yeah, you know, turning 30, I would say, is, it's kind of sad and happy at the same time. You know, gonna be in my 30s next year, but it's also a little sad at the same time, because it's like my young adulthood is gone, for the most part. I mean, I guess people in their 30s are still young adults, but it's... No, I didn't, X23. You look like you're turning 20. Compliment, by the way. Thank you. You look like you're turning 20. Thank you, man. I'm 35. It's not nearly a big deal as it seems. Yeah, I guess. I would say it just feels weird for me also. Wave 4 and 7 and 10 always have Shotgun Kelly nights. Okay, so we're gonna encounter it right now. Thank you, Lyndon. You can do a video about the things you learned in your 20s and the things you wish you knew earlier, like your teens. Yeah, I could do that. Thank you, Lyndon. I mean, oh, thank you, Nico. I'm sorry. I'm just reading a little too quickly, but thank you, Nico. I could definitely do that. I could definitely do a video, like the things that I wish I had done, but I can tell you, if you want to know the thing that I regret the most in my life when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, the thing that I will never get back that I regret the most is that I didn't know how to stand up for myself. That's probably what I would say is the thing that I regret the most. I had people take advantage of me all the time, like especially at my job. People were just rude to me, take advantage of me, and whatever they told me to do, I would do it, even if I wasn't supposed to do it. Like, even if it was somebody else's work, I would do their work for them. And it was like, I just didn't know how to tell people no. And people would constantly ask me for favors, I would just say yes, and then when I needed a favor, they never helped me out. That's what I would say is probably, I spent 6 years working in retail. I really wish I wouldn't have worked in retail. I should have just, like, you know, looked for a different job and, like, looked for a job with, like, better pay. That's what I should have done. Oh, I've loaded explosive rounds into this gun.
How's your hair, dog? What? You're done for.
Oh no, not the archers. Crap. Ah, crap. How are you not dead? Okay. Oh, you guys saw that shot? That was a good one. Ooh, saw that shot. Sorry if I annoyed you in my super chats. I was curious about your opinions. You didn't annoy me. Don't worry about it, man. But I don't know if you heard me earlier. I read a lot of your super chats. I read them earlier. So don't worry about it though, dude. How many rounds is this in total? Is this 10 rounds? How many rounds is this in total? Does anybody know? Herbert lore video? I might make a lore video on Wade, but about Herbert lore, I don't know. Wolves? What the? What the? What? What on earth was that? I got hit by a tomahawk? What was Reyes doing in the beginning of the mission in Gates of El Presidio? Well, he got captured. He was just stupid. Yes, there are Lamat revolvers in real life. However, though, by the time, even though it appears to be a good gun in Red Dead Online, it was actually an out-of-date weapon by this time period. A lot of these guns were beginning to use smokeless powder by this time, and what had happened was that was still very much a black powder firearm. Grizzly bears and wolves will join in on the raid in the grizzlies? What? So the grizzly bears are gonna help a bunch of the bandits? I answered your question, Curiosity. I will probably make a lore video on Wade, but on Herbert, on Herbert, Wade. Oh, Herbert is his last name, Wade Herbert. I thought you were talking about Herbert Moon, but Wade, I could definitely do a lore video on him. Yes, I could do that. Is this a new map? No, this was here last year. Remember that too. Thoughts on K9 units in GTA 6? I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't have an issue with it. The guy who wrote the story for Call of Duty Vanguard was the guy for the Knights of the Old Republic remake. Oh, that was a big red flag. Yeah, you're right on that. I lost my Carcano too. Man, that sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, I want to see chainsaws come back, yes. Oh, let's put Express in here. Oh no, archers. Damn. Reload this. Pearl, can you tell us the reason for the splitting of Yugoslavia? Also, would you consider doing a Way Out playthrough? I actually have done a playthrough of A Way Out. Look it up on my channel. Look up A Way Out. I've actually done it. It was 5 years ago, but I did it. Thank you, Strongheart. And A Way Out was a great game. I really did enjoy it. But about Yugoslavia is Yugoslavia was pretty much a ticking time bomb, is what it was. Was because Yugoslavia originally started out as good intentions, where a bunch of smaller countries came together, you know, formed a larger country because they didn't want to get picked on by like Austria, Italy, and the Ottoman Empire. And it started out as the Kingdom of Croats, Serbs, and Slovenes. Later it became the Yugoslavia. What happened was Tito was the dictator of Yugoslavia, and when Tito died in the 80s, all these nationalist movements started popping up, and then the Yugoslavian government lost control of that, and everybody wanted their own country, and so they split apart, and then other countries were making claims to other countries, saying this is our land here, and one other person's like, this is our land, and it just, you know, turned into just horrible wars, and the Yugoslavian wars were some of the most brutal wars. Oh, crap. What the? No, get your tomahawks out of here. Okay, double-barreled. I definitely like the double-barreled. Doing this all in free aim, too. What the? Oh, God, this is the armored guy Lyndon was telling me about. Okay, I got him. Could Red Dead Redemption 3 be about Jack Marston, 1914 onward, or young Dutch? Well, I don't want to see any more prequels, honestly, Nico. The prequel, Red Dead Redemption 2, was a nice telling of the story because you found out how the Vanderlyn gang fell apart, but I don't want to see it again like that. I want to see, like, you know, story moving forward, so I'd like to see it with Jack's perspective. I would definitely like to see that. Thank you, Nico, and thank you, James Burns. Thank you for sponsoring my channel. Thanks, man, for 3 months. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Lendon, are you still here, man? That armored guy you told me about popped up. Hey, bro, use Deadeye. I could, I guess. Do I got slugs? I do got slugs. Time to bring out the slugs. Okay. For people that don't know what a slug is and a shotgun is basically one giant bullet. Easiest way I can probably explain it, but a slug is, you know, you get hit with a slug, that thing's gonna tear you apart. Oh god. ASG shotgun is my favorite in Black Ops 2. That's the pump one, right? Yes, I'm reading Super Chat, Strong Art. Do you guys still hear me? Does my mic work? Thank you, Nico. Thank you, Mr. Waifu. I'm reading the, a lot of people are complaining that if Red Dead Redemption 3 will be a sequel, it won't be Western anymore since it's... No, it'll still be very much Western. I mean, even at that time, you know, it's still very much Western. And I mean, there's parts of America that are still, like, you know, very rural parts. Like, you know, people drive cars, obviously, but... When people think of the West, they think of urbanization oftentimes, and there's still plenty of parts of America that are not, you know, that aren't very urban. Oh, crap. What? What? Oh, God, no! Oh, God. I'm about to... I literally just turned around. Look at what happened to me. I'm happy to see you're still playing Red Dead Online. You're a real one. Thanks, man. If set in the 20s, cars would be common. If you went in the West, like the Wild West in the 1920s, most people still wouldn't be driving around cars. Most people would still be using horses. Richard, you might want to fall back inside the house. You're gonna get surrounded and overrun. I'm wrong on what, Chance? Oh, damn, we tried. We tried. Okay. How powerful is an elephant rifle? Oh, man, yeah, those things pack a punch. Those things are just, oh, man. I don't mind a Gulf War Call of Duty. I don't know why some people are against that. I don't really have an issue with that. If we get to see Mason and Woods come back, I'm all for it. When did Yugoslavia cease to exist? It started in the late 80s and finished in the, it's in May, and then mainly went on in the 90s, and then the late 90s, it was all gone. Yeah, sharpshooters picked me off, but then I got run over by the wagon. It's just, yeah. Hey Pro, I love the game, and the first game, the gameplay you posted on Red Dead Redemption 1 helped me a lot, and I did. Got the no dice trophy, such a hard trophy. Yeah, it is, but once you get a hang of it, it's not that bad anymore. I think Johnny Depp could probably do a good Lynch, yeah. I heard about that, Ryan. What even is Liar's Dice? It's a game where you have several dice, and you have basically these jars, these cups that you hold them in, you shake them around, and you're trying to guess, how many dice or players have, and then people can either, guess a higher amount, or they can call a bluff, and if they call a bluff, everyone has to show it, and if they are right on the bluff, the person who has the bluff is gonna lose a die, and if they're wrong, the person who made that bluff accusation is going to lose the die, and it goes on until everyone loses their dice, basically. That's what Liar's Dice is. I actually did not see how much I got in there, but... Have I played the Warriors? No, I haven't.
Good work with that last thing.
I wish we could have gone a little bit more, but we tried. Everyone did good in that match. We all did good. We all tried. Well, I'm assuming the final battle will probably be with Gary. Would Yellowstone TV show be considered a modern-day Western? Yeah, probably. I know the show you're talking. I haven't seen the episode, but I've seen some clips. Yeah, I would say it's probably a modern Western. Try again? No, I'm probably gonna get off here. I'll do another survival next week, so this will still probably be next week. We'll probably do that. Because I am a bit hungry right now. I'm probably gonna get some snack and then probably go to bed in like an hour or two. Give us the best Jack Sparrow quotes. I probably wouldn't be able to. Solid Snake, because it's been so long since I've watched any of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. I wouldn't even remember. Do you think GTA 6 will have the same hair growth mechanism like in Red Dead Redemption 2? Yes, GTA 6 is going to run mainly on Red Dead Redemption 2's engine. That's what's mainly going to be. Make sure to do another map in the Grizzlies. We'll do a different Grizzlies map next week, I promise, London. That's a possibility, Diego. I don't think they'll never make another game, but they'll probably drag GTA 6 out as long as they can. Wait, what, Luca? I think GTA 6 will probably have a better story than GTA 5, probably, yeah. I'll be 300 years old when GTA 7 launches. Oh, man. I believe it, Zach. I haven't seen the new Star Trek movies, but I believe it. They probably would. Grizzly bears and call to arms and grizzlies are pretty resilient. The melee hackers can also instantly kill you if they attack you while you're aiming. Yep. And they threw a tomahawk at me earlier, too. I really hope that, GTA 6, they don't do the, I really hope they don't do, some romance drama. I mean, I know it's gonna be a romance story, but I hope there's no drama in that, like... 1812 Overture, I've never heard of this before, Oh, it's during, commemoration of the 1812, Russian defense against Napoleon's invasion. Oh. Hmm. It's a concert overture. Okay. Here. Some people speculate that Jason was an undercover cop based on the fact that we got body cam footage. No, we have never played as a cop in a GTA game. It worked in Sleeping Dogs to a degree. But what I will say is, how would that work exactly? Because as Jason, you're going to be committing crimes. Like what if Jason, you go and steal a bunch of cars and kill people. Like you're breaking laws already. So it wouldn't make much sense. Yeah, probably happy solid. Sharpshooters and Call to Arms have their hat perk, so they can take one headshot. Oh, no. Well, what if you shoot him in the face? Because the hat perk, I think, only protects the hat, but doesn't protect the face. Yeah, no cringe romance. And I don't know what these... there's some really dumb people out there that are, like, saying that they're complaining about playing as, like, a woman character in GTA 6. I don't know why that's a big deal to some people. I'm perfectly fine with playing as a female character. I really have no issue with that. I think that it will be interesting because we get to see, a different perspective. We've never seen a perspective of a female criminal in a GTA game, so I think it'll be very different, and I think it'll be unique. Was Al Capone a powerful boss? Definitely. He was probably the most powerful gangster in American history. No, I think that you can still shoot him in the face because the hat perk doesn't protect your face in Red Dead Online, Lendon. If Jason and Lucia were voiced by KJD and Sasanta, would you still play it? Oh, no, no. Who's more evil, Claude or Brad? Probably Claude. Yeah, but Brad is still bad, too. Does a female online character count as a female protagonist? I guess. But we want to, we're talking mostly about single player, because you can make a female character for the online, but the female character in the online really has no personality, when you really think about it. They're the exact same as the male character, almost identical. It's not the case for the sharpshooter AI. What is the temperature even here? Let's see. What is the temperature here at the Adler Ranch? How cold is it over here? 23 degrees? That's actually not that bad. I know some people think that's really cold for them. For me, I don't think that's bad. I've seen minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit before. And in my town, it was actually that temperature once. So it's The Consumo challenges for the nerds and bully as hell. I'm surprised you did it in one go. It had to take me a few tries to finally get it. Yeah, and I was a bit confused on what I had to do, but I actually looked at the comment section. A lot of people were actually very surprised that I did that on my first attempt. Oldest snow return in Los Angeles 1 week before Christmas. I live in Sweden. It's cold here. Yep, it's the northern European countries. I do have an aunt that lives in Sweden. She's not originally from Sweden, but she moved to Sweden, like 2 decades ago. I want to go visit her one day. I've never seen Sweden before. I'm gonna do the Townies challenge too. I do, Rosanary. Why? What's up, man? No, I haven't played Lego Fortnite. Thank you for the super chat, Mr. Waifu. Who do you think will be the antagonist in GTA 6? Probably a cartel boss. That's at least my prediction. What's more tragic, Max Payne or Arthur Morgan? Arthur Morgan, because Arthur dies at the end. I would say we get to see Arthur, slowly die. It could be El Rubio. It could be. You're right on that. Definitely could be. Gotta read my comment. Let me look, Phoenix. I'm sorry. Let me check. Where's your comment? I don't see your comment here, Phoenix. I'm scrolling up. Can you post it again? Because I scrolled through all your comments. I don't see it here. Can you post it one more time, please? Max did lose his wife and daughter, but Arthur Morgan also lost his child, too. He talks about it. Honestly, I'm not that much into music though, but my dad will be able to probably tell you. My dad likes a lot of music. The funniest mission in Bully, I would say probably the Revenge on Mr. Burton. Yeah, probably that one. I don't know if you read my other super chat, but just wanted to ask, why did Yugoslavia split, and are you gonna do a way out playthrough? I did a way out playthrough 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I did a playthrough. Look up A Way Out on my channel, you'll see it. Yugoslavia split up because after Tito died, the government weakened, and there was a lot of nationalist movements that started popping up in Yugoslavia. What's the most brutal mission in the GTA series? The mission where Tony kills Casa in Liberty City Stories. Where he, cuts him up in the, the saw plant. That was probably the worst one. I don't know. I keep trying in the shop mission, but I keep failing it. Well, I guess I'm probably going to be wrapping up the stream here, guys. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I hope that you guys enjoyed the stream, and if you did enjoy the stream, please do drop a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. And tomorrow I'll have the video up on the tow truck. I'm sorry I didn't get the chance to put it out today. I've just been busy with a few things, but I'll have a video explaining how the tow truck's business works in GTA Online tomorrow, the passive income for that. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day, guys. Oh, and let me see. I missed the super chat. If Kenny Petrovich was in GTA 6, do I think Jason and Lucia will work for him or against him? I think he'll probably be a side character. I don't think he's going to be much of an antagonist. If anything, we might see Kenny Petrovich's gang. But thank you, Antonio, for the super chat. I do appreciate it. Thanks, man. So thank you, everyone, again. And have a wonderful day, guys. Take care, guys.